Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I would like to discuss something that can be very difficult for anyone learning English, and that is idioms. Because the problem with idioms is that they don't translate well. For example, the first one I'm going to talk about is being tongue-tied. If you're literally tongue-tied, your tongue has a knot in it. And unless someone explains to you what tongue-tied is, Google Translate won't work, any kind of online dictionary won't work, just because it doesn't translate well. So the first one I'd like to talk about is the one I just mentioned, which is tongue-tied. Tongue-tied. Sometimes you will hear, "Cat got your tongue?" So these two definitely go together. And I don't know what they do in England. There was another video I talked about. This is not British English. This is an American English channel. So I imagine their idioms are a little bit different than ours. But if you are, excuse me, Italian, which I know about 20% of the viewers to this channel are Italian, I believe it's very similar to your idiom, acqua in bocca. Acqua in bocca? Like, do you have water in your mouth? Is there some reason you are not telling me what you need to tell me? So, cat got your tongue, tongue-tied, literally means you know something and you're not telling me. Now, when my kids were younger, my kids are pretty good. My kids are pretty good. But just like most kids, they mess up. And let's say I walk into a room and there is something broken of mine laying on the floor. And I'd be like, "All right, son, did you break this?" And he might not be saying anything. He might be thinking of a lie to tell me about how my thing got broken. And I could say, "Oh, what's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Cat got your tongue? Are you tongue-tied? Tongue-tied?" So both of them deal with not being able to speak. Now with tongue-tied, sometimes it means a person is really nervous. Maybe they want to say what they have to say, but maybe they are about to ask that special guy, that special girl out on a date, and they might not be able to form the words. So that could also be tongue-tied. Tongue-tied is not always bad, just sometimes bad. Cat got your tongue? I don't know why a cat is involved. We have a lot of animal idioms, but cat got your tongue is usually when you are accusing somebody of not being truthful. Cat got your tongue? So that is, I can't think of a time when it would be used as like a good thing. Tongue-tied? Either way. Cat got your tongue? Always bad. Number 2, Achilles heel. Achilles heel. Now, I am not an expert in Greek or Roman mythology, but I believe there was a powerful warrior named Achilles. In fact, I know there was, but I don't remember if it's Greek or Roman mythology. Something makes me think it's Greek, but that's not all that important. What is important is that this warrior apparently only had one weak spot, and that was just like the back of his foot, or what we call the heel. And I'll put a picture up here. That's the great thing about making a video as opposed to a podcast. I can put right here what I'm talking about. And even if you don't know English, you've seen the body part before. I'm like, "Oh, that's a heel." So right at the back of the foot is this we actually call it an Achilles tendon right in the back of the foot. And it's, if you, I'm 44 years old. I can't put my foot up into the camera, but if you reach down and feel that, if you pinch like the top of your ankle in the back, it really hurts. And we call that the Achilles tendon. But when you hear someone speak of, ooh, that's their Achilles heel, they are talking about a weakness. A weakness. So they might be very good in every area of this thing, but they're bad in one part of it, and that would be their Achilles heel. For example, when I was in school as a student, I'm a teacher now, and you may know I teach English. But when I was in high school, I was pretty good at English, which makes sense because that's what I do professionally now. I was pretty good at history. I like history quite a bit. I was pretty good at science, but math, that was my Achilles heel. That was my Achilles heel. I was never very good at math. Still not very good at math. And a lot of times, my students, we have something called study hall, where the teachers don't teach a class. We help the students get their homework done in class before they go home. So in study hall, sometimes I have a difficult math question. I'll have to ask the student, I'll write you a pass to go see the math teacher. Yeah, math has been my Achilles heel. All right, let's talk about Achilles heel with maybe a sports team. And I will just use soccer / football for this comparison. Just because soccer is not that popular in the United States, but I know football is popular around the world. Let's say this team is very good in almost every part of the game. Maybe they have good forwards, maybe they have good defense. I think there's something called a striker on a football team, maybe. But maybe their goalie, what we say in the United States, or I think their keeper, the goalkeeper, maybe is not that good. And so you could say about this football team, oh man, they're really good, but their Achilles heel is their goalkeeper. Yeah, he or she is not very good. So Achilles heel, pretty good at everything else, but they have a weakness. And that weakness could be called their Achilles heel. All right, number 3, make my blood boil. That makes my blood boil. That means you get very angry. My blood is boiling. So when we say it, it literally means like there are bubbles in your blood. You are so mad. My blood is boiling. For example, what could make your blood boiling? How about if you are on your way home from work and you are driving and someone just cuts in front of you and you hit them and you do damage to your car? That could really make your blood boil. Like, how could someone be such an idiot and pull out in front of me? That could make your blood boil. Or how about, my kids are really good. I shouldn't use them as examples for bad things all the time. But if we go back to my first example about, oh, cat got your tongue? Why aren't you talking? Whatever object that my that my son broke of mine, oh, that could make my blood boil. Or how about this? Going back to a video I made about British English. How about when someone talks to you in English, but they only talk in British English. That could make your blood boil. All right, number 4, chicken out. Chicken out. This is something you can use when someone, maybe yourself, has something kind of scary that they have to do. For instance, my son and I, we love to go bridge jumping in the summer. Bridge jumping is literally finding a bridge over the water. You jump from the bridge into the water. That's bridge jumping. And some of the bridges we go to are really high. And the first time you do it can be kind of scary. And we have brought some friends with us to go bridge jumping. And sometimes, honestly, they say they are going to do it. The car ride there, they have really good intentions. Like, yes, I'm going to jump today. But when they get to the edge and they look down, they often chicken out. And a lot of times when you chicken out, right before, you might get a little tongue-tied. Let's go back to that person who was going to ask out that guy or girl on a date. They've been waiting a long time. They really like them. They want to take that friendship to the next level. Let's start dating. Maybe they get up to that person. They try to talk. They get all tongue-tied. And then they chicken out. They just can't go through with it. Chickening out. That means you don't go through with something you had planned. Chickening out. All right, and the last one, maybe my favorite one. Your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. When you will use this term, and you probably just want to commit this to memory, like repeat it over and over, your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. You can use this when you don't have an answer. You don't have any idea. Let's say you're waiting on the side of the street for the bus. All right, the bus was supposed to be there at 1 o'clock, and now it's 1:20. And you turn to the person like, where the heck is this bus we're supposed to take? Your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. So let's break that down. It means like, if you guess at something, you have no clue, you have no idea. So I feel the same way. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. So it's a great one to like substitute if you're learning English, which I assume you are because that's why you're watching this video. And instead of saying, I don't know, you could switch it up and say, your guess is as good as mine. Or you can say, I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. That works. And every single time you could say, I don't know, you could just say, your guess is as good as mine. All right, so that'll do it for today. 6 American, not British, 6 American idioms that I hope you can use when talking with native English speakers or people in your own country who speak English. Try some of these out. If they're not a native English speaker, they might not know what this idiom is either. Maybe you could teach it to them. But don't be surprised if you say, "Cack out your tongue," to a non-native English speaker. And again, I wonder if these are British idioms as well, because the two American and British English, we do share almost every single word, not all of them. But if you're definitely talking to an American native English speaker, they will know all of these. These are pretty common. So if you like this video, if you can hit the old thumbs up, maybe subscribe. If you're watching this before February 21st, 2020, still got that contest for anybody who comments, subscribes on the videos. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.